Howdy doody everybody. I thought I'd read you a little story. Now it's a parody based on the book The Tiger Who Came for Tea. I spotted this book when I was doing my weekly shop in Aldi, and there's another book, I didn't buy it, but there's one, instead of Are We Going on a Bear Hunt, it's Are We Going on a Bar Hunt. It's quite funny. So this one is The Teenager Who Came to Tea. Sophie and her daddy were busy making tea in their tasteful side return kitchen when all of a sudden the doorbell rang. Ding dong. Daddy asked Sophie, "Who on earth do you think that could be?" "There's no way it's the milkman, because he hasn't delivered since 1983. And it can't be the Ocado van, because they came this morning. And it can't be Mummy, because she's the main breadwinner and is a kick-ass corporate lawyer in the city. Let's see who it can be." Sophie looked outside and saw her big, scruffy teenage brother, who just came back from college. "All right, Squirt," he said, ruffling her hair, and Daddy asked, "How was your day?" But the teenager pushed past him, saying, "Yeah, like, whatever. I'm starving, okay." Charming. In the kitchen, Sophie's daddy said, "Would you like some of the rustic olive focaccia I just baked?" But the teenager was already rifling through the cupboard and said, "Nah, I'm having barbecue Pringles, all right." I do like Pringles, but my favourite one is salt and vinegar. Apart from if you have too many of them, you tend to get like a stinging sensation at the corner of your mouth. Has anybody else noticed that? He didn't just eat one handful of Pringles though. He took a selfie of himself pouring a whole tube of them into the mouth before sending it to his best mate along with the letters LOL. That's laugh out loud, not lots of love. Even though I love Pringles, and I don't think you can eat just one or two, you have to eat a whole tube, don't you? What do they say? Once you pop, you just can't stop. His stomach was still growling, so Sophie's daddy offered him a bowl of quinoa, rocket and heritage tomato salad. But the teenager ignored him. He was too busy crying with laughter and watching an epic fail of a kitten falling off a curtain. Sophie's daddy said, "Would you like a glass of organic, lactose-free soy milk?" But the teenager had already helped himself to a bottle of Diet Coke, and he went into the garden and jammed 10 Mentos into it before filming it bouncing over the neighbour's roof and posting the footage on Vine. That's Vine, the social platform site, not Jeremy Vine's show. He then came back to the kitchen to see what else he could find, but Sophie and her daddy had had a chance to stop him. He'd poured Daddy's 3-day bone broth stock reduction away because "I thought it was washing up, it smelt rank." Sophie then watched as he tore a packet of noodles open with his teeth and ate them straight from the pan before gobbling up a whole jar of Nutella with a spoon. But at least he used a spoon. I suppose that's something rather than just sticking his fingers in there. And sneaking 4 bottles of Daddy's Icelandic Glacier filtered craft lager out of the fridge and into his bag. He then said, "I'm going for a shower. Where's my jeans and can I borrow some cash?" At least he's having a shower. I suppose that's another bonus. Some teenagers don't like showering, do they? It's like B.O. Bob. 2 hours later, he came back downstairs and said, "Laters, I'm revising at Tim's." "Didn't you say it was football practice with Dave?" Daddy asked. The teenager rolled his eyes twice and told him, "Yeah, that's what I just said." Sophie's daddy said, "I don't know what to do. I've got nothing for Mummy's supper. My oxtail ragu simply won't work without that stock." Dolly, making a lot of groany noises. And he's used up all the hot water, so you can't have a bath. Just then, Sophie's mummy came home and she said, Bastard trains. I'm knackered. What's for dinner? And look at that lovely mess in the bathroom. And look at the waste of the toilet roll. So Sophie and Daddy explained what had happened about how the teenager had ruined Daddy's ragout and pilfered all his booze. And Sophie's mummy said, I know, let's go to Nando's instead. Nando's. I thought they'd be more into like Wagamama or something. Or some vegan cafe. Not there's anything wrong with vegan food, I actually quite like it, and I am a vegetarian myself. So they went out into the night, and all the takeaway signs were glowing, and all the cars were thumping out bass. And as they walked down the road, is the granny dancing to bass. And they all had a lovely supper of chorizo thigh burgers and halloumi cheese and peri-peri chips. And the next day Sophie and her daddy went to Waitrose, and they bought a very big bag of frozen chips in case the teenagers should ever come to tea again. But he never did, or at least not until about an hour later, when he texted his daddy to tell him, I lost my bus pass, can I have a lift home? And that's the end. So I hope you enjoyed that story. The teenager came to tea, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate, especially at the moment as we're in lockdown, and our daily routines seem to consist of going to the fridge rather a lot and raiding the cupboards. Take care, keep safe, bye, toodle pip.